Crisis deepens in the People's Democratic Party as contradictory statements unsettle party structure. Atiku Abubakar has ruled out any possibility of him stepping down for any candidates in the ADC for the 2027 presidential contest. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I am Sean Wakimale here in Abuja. Let's bring you up to speed with one of your top stories where we get a reaction from the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who was denied any agreement of him stepping down for anyone in the ADC ahead of the 2027 presidential election. According to his spokesperson, Paul Ibe, who says in a statement earlier today that the interview the 2023 PDP presidential candidate granted in House was misrepresented. He said, quote, it has become necessary to clarify certain misrepresentations arising from the reportage of an interview granted by His Excellency Atiku Abubakar to the BBC House and Service by some sections of the media. He said, it says that after a thorough review of both the video and the transcripts of the interview in the original Hausa and in the English translation, it is evident that at no point did the former vice president expressly state or suggest or even imply that he intends to step down for anyone. It says what Atiku Abubakar clearly and unambiguously said was that young people as well as other prospective presidential aspirants are free to enter into the contest. Well, that may not be our focus tonight on the program. I'm talking about the ambition of Atiku Abubakar. Well, we'll discuss someone else's ambition tonight on the program. But before we get into that, I will get you into the dirty politics, what has become a very messy situation within the rank and file of the People's Democratic Party, when we see some of the senior members in the National Working Committee at loggerhead. And there is a reason for it. We'll be breaking it down for you tonight. One of the parties in the matter will be speaking with me on the program tonight. But before we get into all of that, let's check out some of your political roundup stories.
Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed a suit instituted against President Bola Tinubu challenging the proclamation of state of emergency in Rivers State. Delivering judgment in a suit filed by the Belema Briggs and 4 orders against the emergency rule, Justice Omotosho held that the 5 plaintiffs lacked a legal stand to institute the case. The judge said that such case as constituted can only be determined by the Supreme Court only. Justice Omotosho held that none of the plaintiffs claimed to be members of the State Executive Committee, members of the House of Assembly, or suffered any injury greater than the rest of the people of Rivers State. The court further held that none of the plaintiffs claimed to have the fiat of the Attorney General of the state to initiate the case. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has raised alarm over Nigeria's population growth, warning that if not tackled could cause serious consequences. Speaking in Sokoto at the inauguration of the Bakita ICT Center at the Catholic Secretariat Sokoto, the former president stressed the importance of education and knowledge as tools for national development.
You will have the problem of 400 million Nigerians that have to be provided with food, that have to be provided with work, employment, that have to be satisfied. And if we fail to prepare for that now, Boko Haram of today will be a child's play.
The chief observer of the European Union Election Observation Mission, Mr. Barry Andrews, is urging the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to follow through with the implementation of the post-2023 general election reports by the mission ahead of 2027. The European Union Election Observer Mission made the appeal during an official visit to the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja. Meanwhile, the INEC chairman gave the assurances of the commission to implement the majority of the recommendations that are within the purview of the commission, while keeping an eye on other recommendations that require executive and legislative interventions. A coalition of civil society has called for broad electoral reforms, including increased use of technology in elections and lowering political parties' nomination fees ahead of the 2027 general elections and beyond. They made the call in Abuja during a national multi-stakeholder coordination forum on electoral reforms. Speaking at the event, the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Alpha Musibwe, urged that the law enforcement officers, especially the Nigerian police, to protect electoral integrity instead of enabling misconduct.
If a popular person may not be to the distance a few who can influence the outcome, let the will of the people to that extent prevail. So to that extent, I'm talking about choices. And broadening choices also includes allowing for independent candidates so that if such persons are prevented from emerging within the organized groups, they can run as independents.
Lastly, the Arewa Consultative Forum has pledged its readiness to collaborate with northern governors and the Federal Capital Territory FCT to drive development across the region. The chairman of the forum, Mr. Maman Osuman, made this known in Braden, Kebbi, where the leadership of the forum paid a custom visit to the governor of Kebbi State at the Government House, Braden, Kebbi.
Thanks so much, everyone. There you have it, your political roundup stories. You're now up to speed. Let me take you to one of our major stories tonight. And it's about the very messy situation that PDP has become a house of commotion, where we saw Samuel Anyanwu, the national secretary of the party, countering Mr. Debo Ologunagba on dissolution of Akwa Ibom executives. The party's national working committee had a statement signed by Mr. Ologunagba announcing that the dissolution of the Akwa Ibom executives and subsequently constituted a 31-member caretaker committee headed by Mr. Ugwat Umarin. The national secretary, Senator Anyanwu, has countered that decision of Mr. Ologunagba's statement announcing the dissolution of the Akwa Ibom state executives as null and void. The party's National Working Committee, in a statement that was signed by Mr. Ologunagba yesterday, has announced that dissolution, subsequently setting up that committee. The committee was expected to serve for 3 months, pending new state congresses. However, in his reaction through a statement addressed to the embattled state chairman, Senator Anyanwu says, quote, "My attention has been drawn to the purported press release by the National Publicity Secretary of our party announcing the dissolution of the State Working Committee of Akwa Ibom State for purposes of clarity. That press release should be disregarded because there was no formal sitting of the National Working Committee in which such a decision was taken. It is not in the official capacity and duties of the National Publicity Secretary to take actions relating to the implementation of the decisions of the National Working Committee of our great party. As a result, the purported press release is null and void and of no effect." End of quote. Those are some of the words of Senator Samuel Anyanwu. Why will Mr. Ologunagba do such a thing? Was he acting alone, or was he acting on instruction of someone else or some other persons? Let's be asking him, because Senator Anyanwu has laid it bare. Mr. Debo Ologunagba, the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, is live for us tonight on the program. Thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Good evening, Sean. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much. There are a lot of clarities that you need to make. First and foremost, I see a lot of people mispronounce your name. It's a very cumbersome Yoruba name, which could mean 3 different things. Ologunagba, that means a herbalist or someone with a lot of juju, elderly one. Ologun means Ologunagba means a hunter or someone with some powers of hunting or expeditious powers. Then the other one, medication, Ologunagba. So which one is yours really? So that you can set the record straight.
coming before you can be very exciting, and I'm happy you're trying to promote this name. It's a combination of the whole. I tell you this. Number one, he was a major general or general in the army. He's very savvy when it comes to healing people traditionally with orthodox medicine, and the capacity to withstand challenges right now. So it's a combination of all that you thought about.
So you
Ologunagba, pronounced Ologunagba.
So you're a descendant of a powerful man.
Not just that, a major general in my own estimation.
Although you don't look like someone who has the capacity to fight in a battle. Well, but it looks like you're fighting one in your party.
No, you'll find out. Yeah. You'll find out right now. I'm not even fighting a war in the party, because there's no war in the party. We are making a clarification of situation in the party. And make no mistake about it. The idea in your opening remarks is talking about messy house of commotion. It is far from it. The PDP is solid. The PDP is together. Do we have irritations? Yes, we do. Do we have people who disagree with certain things? Yes, we do. That is the beauty of democracy. Because we're truly a democratic party. And we have contestation of ideas. And people come with different backgrounds, different views, and different interests. There will be clash of this. But the capacity of the PDP that makes it a truly democratic party is that we have inbuilt in our system, in our constitution, what I call a dispute resolution mechanism. And that is what has come and brought this party from 2015, from inception up to date, and we're doing exceedingly well when it comes to that.
The beauty of your party, as you have described it, or whether or not it's not in a commotion, is debatable, because the optics are saying otherwise, and that's why we need to get into this matter tonight. Correct. So first and foremost, let me ask you, who gave you the authority to release that statement?
I tell you, thank you very much for this clarification. Because it's important for Nigerians, and indeed our members, to understand that membership of a party is free. There's free exit and free entry. So you can decide to enter. But what is key in a political party is that the moment you subscribe to the constitution of that party, you're bound by the provisions of the party. And to that extent, I come to your question. Number one, there's a national working committee that acts and sits and takes decisions on behalf of the National Executive Committee. And that's why, in the wisdom in this constitution, the expectation is that every quarter, once a quarter, that the NEC shall meet. And the NWC shall present through the chairman, through the NEC, about the activities that have been taken on behalf of NEC, which they can either ratify or vary or reject. Now, in this process, and I've come here tonight with the constitution of the party, this document is almost complete in the sense that it makes room for every foreseeable situation. The chairman is the chief executive of the party. That's provided for in section 35. And in that, it says the chairman shall summon. Summon means to activate. And that is the only officer of the party that has the power. In section 29 of the Constitution, it talks about the meeting of the NWC, that the meeting shall be at the instance of the chairman, failing which 2/3 of members can summon it in case the chairman becomes difficult and unavailable. The secretary, on the other hand, his role is purely administrative. What happens is this. The chairman summons meetings, presides over the meeting, and then directs the secretary to issue a notice. If the secretary refuses to do that, part of the powers of the chairman is that he can actually direct anybody, any officer of the party, to accomplish a role. So it must be put in perspective. So what I need to...
I haven't stated the principles, yes, Mr. Ologunagba. Yes. Now, in the instant that we're talking about, correct, right here, yes, when did this meeting hold? When did the NWC meeting
First of all, the meeting was the 6:07 meeting of the NWC.
When was this? Was it on Tuesday or Monday? It
was on Monday.
It was on Monday.
Yeah.
And the National Secretary was absent.
He was absent. 16
It was
people.
the one that is supposed to, based on the principle, according to the constitution of your party,
Yes.
stated, he is supposed to send a notice of the meeting as convened or as summoned by the national chairman to the members of the NWC or members of the party. Is that right?
No, let me put it.
Did he transmit that information to you?
Just hold on a second, sir, so we can put it in perspective.
Yeah.
The chairman, and you see, this is all intended to a goal, to create the impression that the PDP is not together. And the reason for this is because of the panicky mood of saying that the PDP is working towards Ibadan for the convention. And everything that is required to be done have been done, including inviting INEC to each and every of our meetings to ensure that we have a seamless end of national convention that will produce new officers. That's why you see all of this happening. But having said that, the meeting held and is on authority and is on record that the chairman directed the secretary to issue the notice.
But he did not.
He did not. And the chairman, by virtue of the powers conferred on him, called for the meeting after consultation. And it was attended by 16 members out of 19.
19 makes a... Yeah. 19 is the entire end of the
members. So we have above the two-thirds that is even required. And the meeting held.
Was the assistant national secretary present?
He wasn't.
Deputy national.
He wasn't.
So there was no person, there is no scribe in that meeting?
No. The way we work is this.
Who keeps the record of that?
The records is kept by the establishment staff, who are administrative officers that attend our meetings.
But they are not captured in your constitution and by the rules of your party, that the institutional staff of your party should be taking record. No. Because the role of the secretary is to take records of your meeting. No. Is that not it?
Can I clarify this? Because it's important. Yeah. Because so that this platform would help Nigerians to understand. So when there are other considerations beyond the constitutional provisions and our actions, then it's a different ballgame. Let me ask you this. The provision for the meeting says the National Working Committee shall meet not less than once every fortnight. But we'll be meeting online. That's, if you look at that to extend that will not be meeting, but it is a meeting because there are other modes of meeting.
Was that meeting online?
It was real time. Everybody was present with photographs.
At
Wadata Plaza, at the NWC hall, seated, photographs, videos.
So why do you think Senator Anyanwu is disowning your statement?
Well, again, I just feel this.
You are within the same complex. His office is just right above yours.
Yes, but he has never been to the office for a while. I mean, understandably, so we don't know what is. I can't speak for him. And I don't, you see, I need to...
But there's usually a working relationship between the office of the secretary because there are communications, official communications, which needs communication to the public that is sent from the secretary's office to the public. Where did this break down?
No, there's no...
This is not the first time you and Senator Anyanwu have having division in your thoughts and your actions.
I don't want you to begin to calibrate this and raise to a level as if there's an issue here between people. No. I think you should clarify that. There's nothing personal here. But I need to let you know that there was a meeting. People were present, members were present, and decisions were taken. And when decisions are taken in the NWC, anyone that requires communication by the public secretary, then I directed at that meeting. And I'll take note and I'll go ahead. And so I do not need any additional information from any office to do that. However, if you look at Section 36, which I've been quoted copiously, without due respect, with a lot of confusion and misunderstanding, is that the secretary is the chief administrative and accounting officer of the party. And hear this. He says he should supervise the day-to-day activities of the party. That's one. Two, conduct and direct the conduct and cause to be issued notices of meetings. Cause to be issued. He must be summoned by the chairman and then he will be directed to Because to be
Who do you report directly to in the organogram?
I report to the chairman and to the NWC. Because we are all members. They are all equal members in the... But we have one first among equal, the chairman, who is the chief executive officer of the party. And that's why it has so...
Because I'm worried. This is not the first time that you have been disowned where you make official statements.
Exactly. That's why I said to you...
Umaru Damagum has disowned you before. You remember?
He wouldn't disown me.
No. He said in one of the statements that this was on the 24th of June 2025.
Correct.
Damagun disowns PDP spokesperson over comments on NEC and INEC.
Yes.
Why does it look that you are up to something against the interests of some other members?
I like the word when you say it looks like.
Because I know I'm talking to a lawyer.
But I'm not, because no one, I follow the instructions, and in situations like that, and this is very important in party politics in Nigeria, and for democracy, it must grow. People must understand that at some point, you must go above personal interest and recognize that the overall interest of the party is important. And I'll tell you this. On each and every statement that are issued, go find out from majority of members whether that was the decision or not. And so, I don't want to be boxed into a situation where he has an interest. No, I don't.
No, because I mean, there are those who have established that you belong to a faction, an interest in the party.
Well, I don't
and there is always an anger.
Well, again...
This time around, what's the anger?
Those are their own estimation. I don't. I belong to the party because I have a job to do, which is to report the activities of the party to members and to the world.
But let me ask you, the decision about Akwa Ibom.
Yes.
Why an isolated issue? Because Akwa Ibom is not the only state that was inflicted by such a situation as considered by the NWC. Okay, for you to have effect.
Let me tell you this so that you're going to understand that. You want to compare that to Delta?
They're similar in nature.
No. I mean, I'm going to...
Why different treatment?
No. You say different? No different treatment.
Have you dealt with the Delta?
No, Delta left with the whole structure of the party. Okay? The whole structure with the governor defected. So what we did was to say, look, let the zonal caretaker committee for South-South oversee the affairs until such a time that we create and constitute a caretaker committee. All right? In Akwa Ibom State, the governor had left. And we have noticed at the NWC level and the party level that there seemed not to be a difference between the members of the executive in that state and their alignment with the APC. Section 10, subsection 6 of this constitution. That's why I said it's almost very perfect. It says, a party member shall, and it says so, no member of the party shall align with other parties or group to undermine the party or any of its elected government. So it's an anathema that you will belong to two parties at the same time, and you can't even do that.
So it is sin that the Akwa Ibom executive that you announced the change is being controlled by the governor who had gone to the APC.
We believe so, and not only that, there have been public comments by the governor on tape. You have it on your tape. You can bring it up, pull it out.
What does it say?
Where he says that, well, he's going to be in charge of the two parties. In the state, it's there, in the public domain. Again, the NWC believe that, you see, you said something here, you referenced something about perception. The optics. The optics should be such that you can't belong to two parties. All right? You can't, some behaviors that have seemed normal in this country that we're normalizing should not be condoned. You either be in PDP or you are in another party, and we recognize and we respect anybody's decision to do what. But to stay in one party and say you are aligning with the other party, the NWC, in its wisdom, believes that that's not okay, and he decided, look, for the peace and orderliness in Akwa Ibom and the chapter, and in any event, we need to go to Akwa Ibom. I'm not from there, but we get report from there. The majority of the people in Akwa Ibom State are PDP, but that is for them to make a determination. But as a party, the NWC, in its wisdom, considered all the issues. The report, we didn't just wake up one morning and take a decision. It didn't happen yesterday. But we said, look, what is it? What is the perception of the people of the party in the state? Are we in this or not? So we can't be hermaphrodite. We're either PDP or we're not. And that is the only consideration. So that is the distinction between Akwa Ibom and Delta that I referenced.
I mean, there are those who will blame your party and how the leadership of the party have handled this situation. And there are those who will say it's a big failure on those of you who run the affairs of the party. How would you lose an Delta? How would you lose Akwa Ibom? Okay. How would you in en masse lose so many members to the ADC? Have you, in the NWC, realized your failure to be able to keep the party?
I mean, that's Sean, I don't know
shape,
where.
at least the one that you made it.
I don't know where you're getting these feelers from, but I can tell you this. This NWC has not failed, and I'll tell you why.
You don't think you have failed?
Of course not.
You lost Delta. No. You lost Akwa Ibom.
No, again,
Rivers is shaking.
It's good on the...
Rivers is neither here nor there.
Sure, it is good
you
to have
your party at a particular shape,
okay.
Debo Ologunagba.
It's okay.
And you don't think it's a failure of your leadership
to
have left the party
to have
in the kind of damage situation?
No, let me tell you.
Are you happy with how your party is left?
Let me tell you this.
You traditionally have held Delta, Akwa Ibom, Rivers.
Let me tell you this.
You have lost them.
Let me tell you this, Sheon. When you say lost them, again, you will be taking away some of the dynamics that's happening in this country today. 80 to 90% of those so-called defections are not defection based on principles or policies. It is based on the coercion, the fear, the intimidation by the APC government. The APC has said...
Is that not an easy way for you to defend your failures?
No, hang on a second, sir. The reality is that facts are facts. The alternative facts cannot be the reality. My point is this, and we know that in this country, that majority of... Okay, look at Osun State. Why we have all the issues in Osun State? You join us. Join us. If you don't join us, we're going to stress you, even when the issues are clear legally. So please look no further than the failure, the perceived failure of PDP, than the inducement, the intimidation, the harassment of people. In the National Assembly, it's happening. It's happening in Kaduna State of members of the PDP in the House of Reps. So, it's another conversation. But we do know that today, the action...
Is Senator Aminu Tambuwa coerced into ADC? Is Atiku Abubakar coerced into the ADC?
Excuse me.
And all of your members here you have lost to the ADC. Assuming that the government of the day running APC as coerced,
yes.
Some of the members that we have talked about, did ADC coerce? Did SDP coerce?
I don't speak for those individuals. I've said to you, there are several considerations. Some are coerced. Some are moved by their personal interest. They might be saying, oh, yeah, we can't stay with some people in a particular party.
Why is it difficult for you to accept, like Uche Secondus, who came to Nigerians and said, PDP has failed Nigerians, forgive us? Is it difficult for you to accept the failure?
Failure of what?
Of leadership.
Where?
In the PDP.
But that's not true.
You failed in 2015 to win an election as an incumbent party.
Yes.
You were given a bloody nose in 2019. Again, it was repeated in 2023.
Yeah.
And you still blame the APC.
No, excuse me.
Back-to-back defeat.
No.
If you were a manager in the Premier League, you will be sacked.
I like that word, Premier League. We're not in Premier League. Premier League is run by...
But you're playing the Premier League of the Nigerian politics.
Premier League is run by rules that are known. In this league, in quote, INEC is in the mix of that league. The government is in the league of that mix. So please don't compare. Compare like for like. We know that. But I can tell you this. The only challenge that we're having, and you're having those snippets of the seemingly disagreement at NWC, is because the PDP is now stable. We can't speak about PDP 6 months ago this way. The PDP is stable now. We got people who are standing firm for the party, and we're moving methodically and seamlessly towards national convention. And they are afraid there's jittery. that, oh, if they put themselves together, so let's bring out some of this irritation, bring this in.
Why don't those say the PDP is dead?
Oh, exactly. If the PDP is indeed dead, so why are they still looking for the PDP? Why are they still interested?
Some of you are just
ask a question.
Undertakers.
I'm saying
who are probably
people who
just
say,
carrying the dead.
I'm just saying when people say PDP is dead, why are they still interested in the affair of a dead party?
Who are those interested?
Well, you should tell me because you have all the information. You are saying some people say they're dead. You tell me, mention the name of people who say
Is the Ibadan convention on track?
Very much on track. In fact, figuratively, the train to Ibadan has arrived Ibadan. Why?
You are in Abuja?
No, the train figuratively, I just use the word advisedly. I am the public secretary and I'm the subcommittee public secretary for that. So I've got to be here to ensure that at the national headquarters, but in terms of preparation, in terms of venue, security, transportation, and all of those that are ancillary, we've got 15 subcommittees. So we're doing well, we're doing exceedingly well, and we welcome you to Ibadan. We welcome you to Ibadan.
I will lead. I lead politics on channels. So I will be there.
Absolutely.
I will be on
and then
ground,
you can watch
like we monitor and we cover every other political party.
You can watch us.
We'll be there on the ground to monitor and to see for yourself. And those who say, hey, maybe the reason why Oyo is hosting it is because there is a tacit authorization or acceptance that Makinde might be the flag bearer of the PDP.
Are you asking the question or you're making?
I'm asking the question.
Well, again, the question will be, is Makinde qualified? Absolutely, yes. So if that is the story there...
I heard that you're a Makinde man.
I'm a PDP man.
But you are a Makinde man. And you are working for Makinde.
I am in support of all the governors of PDP. Makinde is eminently qualified to be president because he's done exceedingly well and he can step up the plate if he chooses to.
Is Goodluck Jonathan still a member of your party?
Goodluck Jonathan is a member of the party, has not resigned. There's only two ways to resign to leave a party. You either resign or you are removed. But to date, President Jonathan...
Is he going to Ibadan for the convention?
Well, I don't speak for him. If he's a member of the party, we'll expect him to be there. But I can tell you, Ibadan is sure, the National Convention is doing well, all the committees are working well.
Is Makinde a guaranteed success for your party in 2027?
Well, you see, again, when you go into...
Goodluck Jonathan.
The challenge we have today is to have a party.
You want to win elections too, don't you?
But again, you've got to have a foundation. You've got to have a foundation going towards that. Because one day...
Who is the sure bet for you? That's the question.
The sure bet is that we will have a party that can present the best candidate to defeat the rudderless APC government. And that's it.
Mr. Debo Ologunagba, whichever one.
Whatever, all of the above.
You said.
All of the above.
But from what I hear, that you are a man that scare easy. That you are not as brave as your forefathers who held that name.
Did you know my forefathers? Have you met them before?
At the sound of a banger, you run under your...
Go find out.
You are not as brave.
Go find out.
As,
we've gone
even in the little PDP battle, you are always running for cover.
We've done this before.
Honorable Debo Ologunagba, thank you so much indeed. It's good to see you again.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on the program. Still ahead, everyone. Jandor Adediran will be joining me next on the program. He's made a bold decision to dump the PDP for the APC. This time around, and he's speaking up about his next move. We'll be finding out after this break, everyone. Everyone for staying with us. A few months ago, the PDP governorship candidate in Lagos, Mr. Adediran, popularly called Jandor, dumped the People's Democratic Party and moved over to the All Progressives Congress, a party he was a member. And now he's aligned with President Bola Tinubu, saying that Nigeria is headed in the right direction. But recently he's made a very bold decision about his ambition in the nearest future. I'm being joined tonight by Jandor Adediran, who is live for us in our Lagos. It's good to see you, Mr. Adediran.
Thank you very much, Sheamus. It's nice to be here.
Thank you. What is going on with Lagos politics? It does look like things are shaping up so fast, and When you talk about Nigeria's politics, especially when elections are coming, Lagos seems to be right in the forefront.
Yeah, of course, it's been a bit quiet politically in the state of Lagos. And it's about time we gear it up. We don't want to be doing catch-up with all these coalition or what have you. And what you had yesterday is for us once again to express our can-do ability and give a shot to the same seat that we've gone for during the last electioneering process, to say, okay, let's take after the boss, the leader himself, who has been so courageous in many fronts. I mean, just like I did in 2021 in the same party, I didn't wait for anyone to express my can-do ability to say, you know what, I want to run for this office. And of course, because there is nothing to do now except to run for the same office. There is no vacancy in Aso Rock till 2031. I would have said, okay, maybe the next thing should be me running for president. So you have it yesterday, and we're keeping our eyes on the ball. We're doing the needful. Let's start galvanizing support for the party across the states. At the end of the day, whoever the party picks to run is whom all of us is going to rally around and support. But for Jandor, I'm running in 2027, and I've so declared.
But did you let the president know this, that you are coming back, your return to the APC was solely or majorly or primarily because you want to be governor?
Okay, so the president, knows that it's every member's constitutional right to run for office of your choice, in as much you're ready to submit yourself to the rules of the party and the constitution of the party. And if you look at the president himself, he didn't wait for no one. In fact, against all odds, he ran, and today is the president of Nigeria. And if we're not learning the courage from him, if we're not learning a boldness from him, then what's the point of us calling him our leader? The president often would tell us power is not served a la carte. You don't think somebody will come and give it to you. You've gone for it. And we also know that there is no how you win a lottery if you don't buy a ticket. You can't win in a scheme that we refuse to participate. Of course, the president knew I was coming from somewhere, and I was on the ballot in the 2023 election. And again, maybe 2027 is my year. We're giving it a shot.
Well, do you think that you fit into the present scheme of things? Because already we are hearing, you are not even part of the list of names that we are hearing. They are being thrown up. And trust me, I've covered and I've spoken and I've reported the politics of APC governorship aspirations. And usually, we are always almost right, except a few situations where the leader of the party in the state, Bola Tinubu, and a few of the leaders decide who they want as the candidate of the APC. You're not in the scheme of things, or your name is not on the lips of those who we call the kingmakers in the APC.
Okay, so I don't know the names that you're hearing. Of course, we have members in the APC that are not qualified to run for office of governor of Lagos State. We have a couple of them. But I've not heard from anyone coming out to say, I am running. Maybe, of course, my name can't be there because I haven't employed any proxy to do that on my behalf, and I'm coming out as Jandor to speak for myself and say, this is what I'm doing. Perhaps if you go to the names you're hearing, maybe you have one of them to summoning that courage to say they're going to run. But one thing I can tell you is that in APC, we've got several materials who are qualified to be governor of Lagos State in 2027.
There are quite a few names that I've heard and been thrown up, including the likes of Senator Tokunbo Abiru, who seems to be in the lead. And there are very prominent people. A few people have also thrown the names of Honorable Jimmy Benson is one of them. Akinwumi Ambo, the former governor, is also one of them. Prominent also is the son of the president, Seyi Tinubu, whom a lot of people have gone to town that he should run and representing the youth in Lagos. Do you think you stand a chance against Seyi Tinubu, for example?
Okay, so all the names that you have mentioned, just like I said earlier on, Sheun, they are all qualified to be governor of Lagos State, including Seyi himself, every one of them. And you're not going to take anything away from no one. But from all of them that you have mentioned, aside from the former governor that you mentioned, none of them have actually has been on the ballot, you know, as governorship candidate aside from myself. So I come with that experience. I come with the experience of somebody who has single-handedly, you know, gone through that process without any backing. You cannot imagine what is going to happen this time if I have a solid backing of Mr. President and the party in Lagos State. It will be a walkover. So, I mean, with due respect to everybody, and I keep saying it, whoever at the end of the day the party decides to pick, all of us, we do what? We're going to follow and campaign for. You know, I played a smart one in 2021, 2022, when we were in the party, because I know that we're not wired to doing anti-party, you know, and the moment the party presents anybody, all of us will fall in line, because in APC, that's where you see party supremacy. So I didn't wait for primary election to be held and contest against the incumbent governor then, and I needed to look for a platform where we can exhibit our can-do ability. And that we found in PDP, and today, nobody will say who is Jandor in politics of Lagos. I mean, if not Nigeria.
Asking Jandor is whether or not you'll be willing to step down for Seyi Tinubu, the son of the president.
Like I said, if we found ourselves on the field, you know, as aspirants gunning for the ticket, and the leadership of the party decide to say, oh, it is Mr. A that we are presenting at the end of the day, all of us will fall in line and work for the party.
Give me a moment. We'll take a break, and when we come back, more questions about your ambition, although it's not time to campaign, but there is nothing stopping anybody from saying, I have interest or I have an ambition. We're talking about the prospects of Lagos politics in the midst of all of what is happening in the nation. After this break, everyone, join us again. Everyone, Jandor Adediran, 2023 PDP governorship candidate in Lagos, is speaking with us from our Lagos studio. If you look at it, the president lost Lagos in 2023 election. Do you think it stands a chance? And you see what is happening, the demolitions, which has now been given some ethnic coloration, and there are those who say there will be political repercussions for such a thing. Do you think Lagos is now an endangered grounds politically for the APC and for President Bola Tinubu should he contest again in 2027?
Okay, Sheun, remember in 2023, Jandor and his Lagos for Lagos movements were actually outside, you know, and this time we are back inside. So it won't be the same thing as what you witnessed in 2023. So 2027, not only in Lagos, in the entire country, is just going to be a walkover for the man whose courage has given us a lot in this country today. Let me give you an example. If not for his courage, we still have some people now still putting their hands in the cookie jars of fuel subsidy, which has assisted us in reducing even debt to revenue ratio from 97% that it was now to less than 50% today. The GDP grew by 4.2% as against even IMF projected 3.4%. I mean, this is something that you can, during barriers, maybe you're forgotten, states will go to FAC and they'll come back with zero allocations, and federal government would then be giving them what you call bailouts. We don't see bailout in this time. What they get now is triple of what they were receiving at the state level and at the local government level. This is something somebody's courage has done, you know, since he took over office to say, you know what, I'm going to put a stop to this racket called forest scheme. And today we have stability. Where are the proceeds? The proceeds are within the states, component states, and local government. And reducing debt revenue ratio from 97 to less than 50% under 2 years, that's a lot of work. I'm a businessman. Some foreign companies in Nigeria before now had difficulties in repatriating their fund back. Emirates is one of them. I can mention a lot. This government paid everything. How? Because it was so courageous to put a stop to some nonsense that we were all, romancing as at that time. So for this courage, a lot has actually shifted. And 2027 is not just going to be a walkover in Lagos, it's going to be a walkover in Nigeria for President Tinubu. That I can assure you.
But Jandor, what do you say to those who say Lagos is no man's land, is for anyone's taking?
Well, Lagos can't be a no man's land. Of course, I am from here. I'm an Awuri man. Lagos is own. It's an Awuri land. So you can't just say it's a no man's land. Because we've been so hospitable to take everybody, doesn't mean you come and say it is your land. Of course, we welcome everybody. And don't forget, it will be difficult for you to demonize the government of Lagos, because this is one government since 1999 that you've had in their cabinet people from the north, people from the east, and all of that. So how can you just suddenly say the government, even for us who are the Gaussians of the first order, we're even looking at it like, look, why are we not giving the front role? Why, accommodating more people from outside? And so you can't just turn around and say the same government hates a particular or don't like a particular section of the country. No, because everything pointed to the fact that it's the one state in Nigeria that has accommodated everybody irrespective of where you're from. Even in the cabinet of Lagos, even in local government, you see people from other states being chairman of local governments. You can't have this anywhere. You're talking about local governments. You see an Igbo man, somebody from Delta in Lagos being chairman of local government. The last time local government chairman, was it even from Lagos? From the southwest. So how do you reconcile that? No, Lagos is an Awuri land. Lagos is Lagos. Yes, we have everybody coming to do business, to trade here, and we've been so hospitable to have everybody. So we're not fighting anybody. We're not against anybody. I mean, we love, this is mini Nigeria. Everybody is welcome here. Okay, but hey.
All right. Jandor Adediran, the 2023 PDP governorship candidate in Lagos. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Shomwa Kimale. God bless Nigeria.